Came back for a little bit more of that canine bitchly. Well, right on. So we established that Snoopy is a black guy, but he considers himself an Eskimo. So we're not discriminatory, so we let him join our group. Ain't no problem. So Snoopy sits down, we're all eating breakfast and such. And I nudged Genghis and I said, hey, who's that big tall ass kid? And Genghis looks up, he goes, I don't know. He came in with you guys last night. He's in our dorm. Didn't you see him last night? And I was like, no, I never noticed him. So I said, hey, big tall ass kid. He turns around and looks at us, comes walking over. He says, yeah, what's going on? And I said, well, hey, what's going on, man? I'm Canine Bitchley. I said, this here's Genghis and Snoopy and Coon and Chief. I said, what do they call you? He said, they call me Edge. And I was like, well, right on, Edge. I said, why don't you sit down with us, man? So he had a seat with us. And I was like, hey, brother. I said, no disrespect or anything, but how tall are you, man? He goes, 6'4". I was like, 6'4"? Good God, how old are you? He said, 16. I was like, 16 years old? My gosh. And right as I finished my sentence, boy, that's right, the love interest. That's when I saw her. And I said, geez, gentlemen, who is that? And they all knew who I was talking about right off the bat. They was like, that's Destiny. I was like, man, that's not Destiny. That's the next Miss Canine Bitchley. And they all started laughing, oh, yeah. Oh, you ain't got no shot with her, Canine, let me tell you. She don't date jobbies #1, and she don't date freaks. And right now, first day here, you the biggest freak here. Let me tell you the way you look. I was like, oh, now, don't be like that, gentlemen. Let me help you out there a little bit. I'm from Missouri. They call that the show me state. How about I show y'all a little bit something, come on. And there's like, okay, yeah, you go over there and you show us what you got. And I was like, okay, I will. So, I get up, make my way though over to her, with my cool, sexy canine walk. It's indescribable. So I'll just let your imagination run with how that looked. It looked good. And so I approached her and I said, hey, how you doing today? So they call me Canine Bitchley. And I just wanted to let you know that outside of a sunset, I ain't never seen anything so pretty as you. And she stood up and looked at me and she goes, Canine Bitchley, is that right? And I was like, that's right. And I just wanted to come over and introduce myself to you, ma'am. And she says, well, go like this. And walks off. And you could just hear the guys from the table just laughing. They're just rolling and hooping and hollering, and she's walking off and dumping her tray into the trash, walking out the door, and I'm standing there going, now I got to turn around and go back to that table. Sweet potatoes. So I turn around smiling, walk back over to the table. They're just laughing. They're like, man, we told you you did not have a chance in a million with her, man. I said, oh, no, wait a minute now. I just introduced myself. That's just strike one. That's got nothing to do with nothing. And they're like, yeah, right. Genghis gets up. He says, well, boy, you got bigger things to worry about anyway. Because you and Snoopy, you got things to do. And I was like, we do? He's like, oh, yeah. It's not like just all of a sudden you pop in and you're in the group. You got to prove yourself. And I was like, oh, I understand that. And now I'm thinking, I hope it's not a beat-in or anything like that. Something crazy, And so he walks off, and Coon steps by. And I said, hey, Coon. I was like, can you give me some kind of little hint, about maybe what he's talking about for this joining the, club type of thing? And Coon looks at me and he smiles real big and he says, Canine, you and Snoopy have nothing to worry about. Since I've been here, everybody's made it. And only one guy's died. And I'm thinking, one guy's died? Next page.